Hello everyone, my name is Eltimar and I will be doing a Let's Play of Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. Before we get started, there's just a couple of things I'd like to go over really quickly. First off, this will be a group playthrough. I will be taking along NPCs, so if you are looking for a solo playthrough of the game, this is not going to be the Let's Play for you. Additionally, I will be doing a full playthrough of the game, including the side quests. I'll try and separate my videos into side quests and main quests as much as possible, but in some areas that will just not be feasible. Some of the quests are too closely intertwined in some of the zones. I will try and keep you guys notified by title whether or not the video is strictly just side quest stuff though. Other than that, let's just jump right on in. There are a few pre-made characters that you can take along with you. I'm not going to be taking any of them I'm not going to be using any of them as my character, but if you are going to play through the game and you don't want to make your own character, you want to just grab one and go, you could take any of these options. They're not great characters, but they'll serve well enough for the game. I will be creating a male character. There is no statistical difference between male and female characters in this game. Neither one is stronger, faster, or more intelligent than the other. The only difference it makes in the game is your relationship options and just the sentence, the gender identifiers in some of the sentences in the game. So I will be taking a male character. I will also be grabbing the Half-Orc portrait. I haven't actually played through the Enhanced Edition yet. I have played Baldur's Gate and Tales of the Sword Coast. I do know some of the NPCs that are in the Enhanced Edition, however, and I will be taking this one's portrait. But there are a lot of things in the Enhanced Edition that I do not know and will be an experience for all of us as we play through this. I will be taking a Half-Orc character. The reason for this is I'm going to be playing a fighter. Usually when I play Baldur's Gate, Tales of the Sword Coast, Baldur's Gate 2, any type of RPG game in general, I usually play a wizard or rogue. I wanted to try a fighter for this. This is also going to be my first Let's Play, so I think a fighter will be a strong frontline warrior for us to go adventuring with. The reason also I wanted Half-Orc really quickly, I'll show you, is they get a +1 strength and a +1 constitution. The -2 intelligence is not very important for the fighter class, with some exceptions, and I'll explain those when we get into the stat page. There are 5 technical kits for fighter. There is just the standard fighter, which we are going to be. The Berserker has a rage ability that gives him some benefits while in combat and while enraged. When his enrage ends though, however, they become winded and they get penalties to their armor class, to hit rolls, and damage rolls. They also cannot specialize in ranged weapons. Wizard Slayers are good for, as you may have guessed, wizard slaying. Each successful melee hit that they do gives a 10% cumulative chance of spell failure on a target. This is great for fighting against clerics, mages, bards to some extent, sorcerers, all those types of classes. They also get +1 magic resistance per level, but they cannot use any magic items apart from weapons and armor, which is kind of a really big disadvantage. There's a lot of great magical items in the game. Kensai are unarmored fighters. They get an innate bonus to armor class. They also get +1 to hit and damage every 3 levels, which makes them great for primary DPS characters. They hit fairly often and they hit very hard. They also get a -1 bonus to speed factor every 4 levels. I believe that is just movement speed. I don't think it applies to their attack speed, so they will move faster than other characters, aside from monks, who also I believe get the speed factor bonus. They can use the Kai ability once per day every 4 levels, which makes all their attacks within the next 10 seconds deal maximum damage if they hit. They cannot wear any armor, they cannot use any missile weapons, and they cannot wear gauntlets or bracers. Those are some pretty big penalties. We can't actually see what the Dwarven Defender does because we're not a dwarf. Only dwarves can be Dwarven Defenders, obviously. We will be grabbing our fighter class. We will be a true neutral character. I will be doing some good quests, some evil quests. The NPC characters we are going to be bringing along with us are of the questionable sort, so we will try and keep our reputation relatively low without dropping it so low as to make the game unplayable. I will take true neutral just because it's the funnest to roleplay. You can go either way on it. In 2nd edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, stats were done by rolling 3 6-sided dice, and then the total of the rolls was that stat. So you could have a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 18, and then you would allocate it to one of these 6 ability scores. 75 is our total roll, It's not that great. That is a very average run-of-the-mill roll. We are going to try and do a few rerolls to see if we can't get a higher one. The reason is we want a decent stat spread for the beginning of the game. I'm not going to spend a massive amount of time doing this, just because I know it's probably extremely boring. 83 is actually okay, but I'm kind of aiming for 85 or above. I guess I could have stored that 83 in case nothing else comes along, but there's a... oh, never mind, 86. 86 is a good roll. We're going to kill our wisdom. We're also going to kill our intellect for now. We're going to grab 19 strength. Strength increases our 2-hit in melee combat as well as our damage rolls. For a melee character like ours, this is going to be crucial. Dexterity, we're also going to max out. This is a vital ability for any frontline warrior as well as rogues. This increases your thief skills and your armor class, so it's pretty important to have. Constitution is tied in with your saving throws and your hit points. If you're a frontline fighter, you're going to want to max out your Constitution as well. I'm going to max out my Charisma. Normally this isn't a very important thing for fighters, but this guy is going to be the front man of our group. He is going to be the talker, and the more Charisma you have, the lower your prices in shops, as well as you can get extra loot from handing in quests if people like you more. The rest of my points I'm going to dump into intelligence, and I know I mentioned earlier that intelligence wasn't super important for warriors, and it's not. The only time that this will come into play as a very important thing is when in the second game when we were fighting mind flayers. People with low intelligence have a higher chance of becoming dominated by the Illithid, which are a race of psionics. So it won't be important until then, and we'll deal with that when the time comes. So that's a pretty good stat distribution, and we'll move on from here. Just really quickly, intelligence is really important. If you are a mage or a bard, it gives you more spells per level, or sorry, more spells per spell level per character level. So you want that as high as possible. It also gives you the ability to learn more spells for each spell level. Not memorize, but scribe into your book, I should say. Wisdom is important for clerics, paladins, and that's it, I believe. Just wisdom and paladins, or wisdom and paladins, clerics and paladins. It gives you more spells per level for priest spells. And charisma is important for sorcerers in the same way that intelligence is important for mages. It gives them more spells per spell level per character level. So, moving on, we're going to grab 2 points in longsword and 2 points in two weapon style. We will be dual wielding weapons. If you have no points in two weapon style, you will incur significant penalties while using two weapons. You will get a -4 penalty on your main hand and a -8 penalty on your offhand. With one slot, it reduces it to -2 and -6 respectively, and specialized gives you 0 and -4 respectively. So our offhand is still going to suck in the beginning of the game, but it's not going to be as terrible as if we were not proficient in two-weapon fighting. Longsword proficiency gives us no penalties, and then specialized gives us +1 to hit, +2 damage, and an extra half an attack per round. We are going to be getting this all the way to Grand Master, which will give +3 to hit, +5 to damage, -3 to speed factor. Oh, speed factor might be attack speed then, because I believe that gives us extra attacks. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure about that. I'll weigh in on that when we get to that point. Again, appearance, the only thing we're going to change is we're going to change our clothing to black. Black is the most evil clothing color, hands down, or red, I guess, blood red and black. So all of our group is going to be sporting the ebon coloring. I'll go through the voices really quickly. I know which one I'm going to be picking, but I kind of want you guys to hear them really briefly. So,
death to you all!
Not orky at all.
Your life ends here.
Not orky at all.
Time for a bit of the rough and tumble.
That's kind of orky, but not really. That's more brawler human.
You got this coming!
That dude is just insane.
Give them a right thrashing.
That guy's just way too civilized to be a half-orc.
Get over here.
This is going to be the voice we are taking, is this
Right,
male
then.
6. So, and our name is Eltimar. During cutscenes and store or chapter summaries, I'm not going to talk at all, and other than that, I will narrate the conversations between NPCs and my character, as they are not voice acted in this game, just so if you're sort of half paying attention and half not, you won't miss anything if you're not reading things on the screen.
Nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast The citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Farron. It is an imposing fortress, kept in strict isolation from the intrigues that occasionally plague the rest of the Forgotten Realms. It is secluded, highly regimented, and it is home. Within these hallowed halls of knowledge, your story begins. You have spent most of your 20 years of life within this keep's austere walls, under the tutelage of the sage Gorion. Acting as your father, he has raised you on 1,000 tales of heroes and monsters, lovers and infidels, battles and tragedies. However, one story was always left untold, that of your true heritage. You have been told that you are an orphan, but your past is largely unknown. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You have asked about his concerns as gently as possible, but your queries have been in vain. Your sole comfort is the knowledge that he is a wise man, and you know he will tell you when the time is right. Nonetheless, his silence is troubling, and you cannot help but feel that something is terribly wrong. Today, Gorion has appeared more agitated than ever, and now he has uncharacteristically interrupted your chores in the middle of the day, imparting hurried instructions for you to equip yourself for travel. He has handed you what gold he can spare, but given no clue as to why. Nevertheless, you now stand before the Candlekeep Inn, ready to purchase what you need for an unplanned and unexpected journey.
Okay everyone, welcome to the game. This is the user interface. This is a top-down isometric view. This is how the entire game is played out. This is our main character right here, and you can just click to move them around. I'm not going to be talking to any of the tutors in the game. I know how to play it, and they're just a giant waste of time.
I'm on it.
The first person we're going to go talk to in the game is Winthrop.
My hotel's as
Winthrop
clean
says,
as an
"Well,
open
hello there,
arse."
young one. Come to visit your old pal Winthrop, have ya? Well, don't forget the 10,000 gold piece book entrance fee, as per Candlekeep's custom, don't you know?" This is actually true. To get into Candlekeep, you do have to offer them a tome of knowledge worth 10,000 gold pieces in order to peruse the rest of the books in the library. That being said, we're going to say, "This is outrageous. What kind of fool do you take me for? Stuff your inn and stuff your company." Winthrop replies, "I fear you have spent too much time around those stiff-necked monks and mistaken my attempt at humor for a serious demand. Perish the thought that I should charge you for your company. Any child of Gorion is more than welcome in my inn. So, is there anything I can do for you? Some drinks, a room to sleep, or anything to buy?" I'm going to say, "Yes, what do you have?" We do need to purchase some supplies for our journey. We are going to pick up a pair of long swords, not any short swords. We're not going to buy any armor yet, and I'm also going to buy a quarrel of crossbow bolts. The reason we're not going to buy any armor yet is we will be doing a couple side quests in Candlekeep before leaving. That will give us some extra gold to buy better armor than we normally would. You'll notice throughout my playthrough of Candlekeep as well, I will be breaking into chests and stealing all of the things inside. If you want to play a morally righteous group, then maybe don't do this, but if you want some sweet loot, go for it. No one will stop you. Really quickly also, sleeping people do not have any line of sight, so they cannot summon the guards if you are looting their room while they're sleeping, but awake people do. So you'll see, for example, that if I go into this room, if I tried to steal from this noble, he would definitely summon the guards. This chest is actually a impossible chest for me to open right now. It requires a higher strength than I have, and if you are a rogue and have about 60 lockpick, you can open it. It has a 1,000 gold star sapphire inside, which is a pretty good amount of gold to start the game with. I won't be able to grab it though, so I'm just going to leave it there. Maybe I'll be able to get it later on in the game, I can't remember. We already got our items. We're going to talk to Firebeat Elvenhair.
It's hard to find.
Firebeat Elvenhair says, "Ah yes, I'm back within the hallowed halls of Candlekeep. With this iron crisis upon us, the trip from Baragos was more hazardous than I care to relate. You're Gorion's ward, aren't you? My, you have come into your own, if you would permit an old man jealous of youth to say so. I left an identify scroll with Tethtoril in the inner grounds. He should be done examining it by now, so if you could fetch it for me, I'd be grateful." This is the one quest I find in Candlekeep that is implausible to me. The reason is Teth is the first reader of Candlekeep. He is the de facto ruler of this library citadel. There is no way that he has not seen an identify scroll in his life, and the fact that he had to borrow one is just kind of mind-boggling. Firebead has sent you to me, hasn't he? Very well, return the scroll to him, but then you must hurry and speak with Gorion. He is waiting for you on the steps of the central library. I assure you, child, it is a matter of the greatest urgency. Teth is also a lore master of Ogma, I believe. Ogma is the patron deity of Candlekeep and is the god of knowledge and wisdom, which is why they collect wisdom such as books inside the walls.
So hard to find.
Oh, I'm glad to see that age has not hardened your heart towards an old man such as myself. I'll take all of your identify scrolls. I have a great use for these types of scrolls. Here, allow me to cast a little spell on you. It will protect you from any evil you might meet tonight. We got 50 experience for that, and a protection from evil spell placed on us. It will be somewhat helpful. Not particularly. It'll be a little bit helpful, I guess. Oh, hello. Sorry, Flydia says. Oh, hello. Have you seen my copy of the History of Halrua anywhere? You know how I can't stand the constant shuffling of arthritic feet up in the library, so I thought I'd get a bit of fresh air just east of here. And, oh, I hate being so absent-minded. Please, if you find it, I really do need it back. We will be finding her book for her. It's worth some experience for us. And I believe she gives us a gem to sell, which will give us some more gold towards the armor I want to buy. We're going to jump into the priest quarters here, where a man needs to talk to us. This is a man named Shank, and he has a dagger, so he is aptly named. Oh, goody goody. I've gone and found you first. You are the ward of Gorion, no doubt. Leave me be. I have pressing matters that I must attend to. Shank replies, far be it for me to keep you from your pressing matters, but I must insist on a moment of your time. The last moment, actually. I apologize for not explaining my motives, but I am on a rather tight schedule, and exposition is simply not my forte. That's excellent. We are going to exposition him all over the room. You notice that we hit him for 16 and just sprayed chunks of body everywhere. He dropped a dagger, which is on the ground. You can see it right there. We will not be picking it up. Daggers are worthless, as are quarterstaffs, which I guess I already dropped. I didn't even remember doing that, but we dropped the quarterstaff. Quarterstaffs are worth 0 gold, so there's no real point. Party says, Eltimar, you cut yourself above the brow there. What is wrong, child? Something in your eyes tells me that something is very wrong indeed. It's nothing, Parta. One of the cats didn't like me petting it. I'm alright, really. I'm going the lying route. Yes, well, get what you need from the inn then, for Gorion is desperate for you to be off. My exodus from this city must be the worst kept secret ever. It's kind of like if you plan to rob the bank, or rob a bank I should say, and give the bank a note a day in advance saying that you're going to be robbing the bank and they maybe should have everything ready for you. It's not going to work well, but we'll talk to Dreppin now. Dreppin says, Flydia left one of her books in... Oh, you have it already. If you could run it over to her and then come back, I've got some plans for you. We're going to grab his quest right away. We're going to grab his quest right away.
What do you need?
Just because I don't want to run back and forth as much as possible. Nice day, ain't it? Too bad Nessa here ain't enjoying it, though. Her being sick and all. I need to get her one of them potions of antidote off of Hull. He stayed up drinking last night and got hauled out of bed to man the gates early this morning, so I bet he's got a few of them lying around somewheres. Apparently Hull chugs antidote potions to get rid of hangovers. This is genius. I honestly do not know why we don't do this in real life, aside from the fact that antidote potions don't really exist. I think that would be a great benefit to our world for people who need to wake up and have hangovers. Flydia says, my book. Oh, you remind me of Gorion when you grin like that. Raising you has been hard on him, I know, but he says it's a toil of love, a toil of destiny even. You must be a very special child indeed to draw such praise from a man of his silent nature. Here, take this little gem of mine. Maybe Winthrop will give you a little something for it. Winthrop will give us a little something for it. It is worth, I think, 7 gold. We're going to quickly run down to the barracks and grab the antidote potion for Dreppin, as well as a couple other small things we need. And then we will move off to complete the rest of these side quests in Candlekeep before we leave with Gorion. There's nothing in these buildings over here, so there's no reason to even try going in them. I don't think you're allowed to go in them anyways. We're going to quickly loot this barrel. It's a nice barrel. It has 8 whole gold in it. We'll jump into the barracks. So we have a guard named Fuller here and a watcher. Let's talk to Fuller first. Fuller says, ugh, what a mead-filled night. That hull is too much. Poor staff had to go man the gates himself, or gate this morning too. I don't know how he does it. What can I do for you anyways? I was just wondering if you had any errands I could run. Errands? Yeah, actually I need a coral of crossbow bolts. If you can get some off Winthrop at the inn, I'll reimburse you. Oh, very well, there'll be a few coins in it for you too, so you can stop giving me that look. We already have the corals because I grabbed them before coming here. Thanks, kid. I can't talk. Thanks, kid. That doesn't make any sense. I hear tell you might be leaving this place soon. Watch your back out there, okay? Here, let me give you this dagger. My father killed a hobgoblin with it once many years ago. Stabbed him right in the back, he did. It ain't no broadsword, but it'll do in a pinch. Now go take care of yourself. So he gives us a dagger +1. If your charisma is not high enough, I believe if it's not above 16, you will not get that dagger. You will instead get some gold, but it's not a massive concern. It's just a dagger +1. We're going to jump into the bunkhouse here.
I have a blade with your name on it.
There's a man named Carbos here. There. You're Grind's little whelp, aren't ya? Yeah, you match the description. You don't look so dangerous to me. And what business is that of yours? I'll make it my business if not please. I just thought I'd have me a look at you for myself before I put the blade down your gullet. Someone seems to think you're trouble, so I'm going to use your head for a ticket out of the gutter. I'm just a little street trash hood, they say, but I'll show them. I don't think you will. He actually hit me for 1 damage, and then I vaporized him too. That was another 16 damage to Carbos. I'm actually going to check the, oh, difficulty's on low. No wonder this is so easy. Wow. Okay, I'm going to jump this up to... Why do we keep saying jump things up? I'm going to stop that. Anyways, I'm going to put this up to core rules, which I think will be better for this playthrough. I don't know why my difficulty was set to 0, but whatever.
Sorted.
I know there's someone that wants to talk to us about this whole thing. There it is. So Karen says, I heard shouting, Eltimar. Are you alright? I'm going to say, it is better you don't ask questions, Karen. You've instructed and inspired me throughout my childhood, and your heart would break to see what just transpired here. Oh, child, you are too young for the life that is being thrust upon you. If you be fully equipped for your journey, I pray you run now to Gorion on the library steps, for he is anxious to depart. Literally everyone knows I'm leaving this place. Also, if it costs 10,000 gold worth of books, or a book worth 10,000 gold to get inside Candlekeep, how did 2 assassins with only daggers get inside the walls? Maybe they sold all their equipment to buy a 10,000 gold book and then get in, but it seemed like poor planning on their part. The Gate Warden offers you a tutorial on how to fight in group combat. We will not be doing that. I know how to fight in group combat, and it's just kind of a waste of time. He says, soon be gone, will ya? Gorion asked me to teach you a wit about the finer arts of mass combat before you leave. Can I pique your interest with it, Eltimar? I'm going to say Gorion's in a hurry, Gate Warden, and I'm afraid I cannot spare the time. Sorry. Are you sure, little one? It would be best you took the time to learn now rather than curse your ignorance later. Gorion himself asked me to do this deed, and I'll not offer it to you twice. Whatever little knowledge I have, I'm sure it will be sufficient. Thank you. Besides, Gorion will protect me should we encounter any trouble. Gate Warden says, ye be as you've always been then, worse than trying to talk sense to Elrond himself. Now there be duties that need attending to, and I'll not suffer a brat like you any longer. I think I might have been wrong earlier. I don't think Tethril is the leader of Candlekeep. I think Elrond is. If I was wrong on that, sorry about that. I can't remember the lore of this place perfectly. This is Hull. We'll talk to him really quickly. Hey kid, I woke late this morning and left my sword in the barracks before going on duty. If you want to get it for me, it's in the chest at the foot of my bed on the right side of the barracks. Quickly now, before the Gate Warden catches me without it. You'll also find an antidote there. I think Drepid needs one for old Nessa. I already have a sword. He says, thanks kiddo, Gorion didn't bring you up half bad, did he? You're lucky to have grown up here in Candlekeep, to be honest. Sometimes I think that the world outside these gates has gone mad, what with all the fighting over iron shortages and all. In Baldur's Gate will be a war before the season's out, mark my words. Anyhow, I'm on duty. Here's 20 gold pieces for saving my skin from the chief. So we got 50 more experience and 20 gold, which puts us at 240 experience out of 2,000. We need 2002 level. And hopefully that will come fairly quickly. I think there's just one more quest to do aside from handing in the antidote here, and then we'll be out of Candlekeep. So we will talk to Reivor. I thought I asked you to clean the rats out of this building yesterday already. Hop to it. Get in there. He is a very surly dwarf. Let's go take care of some rats. My character's a master at rat killing, apparently. Unlike the cats that are in here, who I'm guessing were adopted to try and get rid of the rats, but chose not to. I should kill the cats too for being useless. There is not a lot inside of this place that's worth anything. If you are playing through, note that you can hit tab to highlight all of the lootable items inside of our room. And we'll go back out and talk to Reaver. Ah yes, kill them like the rest of they are. A glorious battle unlike any this world has ever seen. Here's 5 gold pieces, don't spend it all in one place. We get a whole 5 gold pieces. I have literally found more gold hidden in chests in this place. I think I actually missed some gold in one of the chests earlier. This is the Temple of Ogma. You can get healing here, and I believe you can donate money to boost your reputation. We will be doing neither of those things because we don't need them. Let's talk to Dreppen. Heh, you're a wonder, you are. Stick with me and we'll go far. Well, okay, stick with me and we'll probably never leave the walls of Candlekeep, would we? Good thing you ain't wearing none of that metal armor, though, as I hear that bandits out there would just as soon kill you as look at you to get it off your back. I just hope this whole Iron Crisis business is wrapped up soon. So from him we gathered that there is a small crisis going on regarding iron along the Sword Coast. It won't enter the game immediately, but it will become a vital part of the story later on, so just make note of it in your mental diaries. And let's go into here. We're going to sell some of this junk we picked up, buy some armor, and then it will be time to leave Candlekeep. Since we haven't identified this dagger, we're not going to sell it yet. It's only worth 1 gold unidentified. Not worth it. It is worth much more than 1 gold. I'm also going to pick up splint mail armor. At this point in the game, I'm just going to do a brief tutorial on how to hit armor class 0, also known as THAC0, which is what I'll be referring to it as, how it works. So my armor class is 0. My THAC0 is 16 and 20 respectively for my main hand and offhand weapons, which means that to hit myself with my primary weapon, I would need to roll a 16 or above and a 20-sided dice, which is a fairly low chance. My offhand, I'd have to roll a 20 to hit myself on a 20-sided dice, which is a critical hit. If I take off my armor, I have a 6 armor class, which means I only need a 10 to hit myself, or a 14 to hit myself with my offhand. So as you can see, the lower your armor class is, the better, and the lower your 2-hit armor class 0 or THAC0 is, also the better.
I'm on it.
There is one more thing I just want to go over really quickly before we leave, and that is just these singers down here. I'm going to just verbalize their stuff. They sing out of order and it's really kind of annoying. I'll just read them out really quickly for you. This is the prophecy of the return of Baldur, the god of murder. The Lord of Murder shall perish, but in his doom he shall spawn a score of mortal progeny. Chaos will be sown from their passage, so saith the wise Alondo. In the year of the turrets, a great host will come from the east like a plague of locusts, so saith the wise Alondo. When conflict sweeps across the dales, the great lizards of the north shall descend with fire and fury, so saith the great Alondo. When shadows descend upon the lands, our divine lords will walk alongside us as equals, so saith the great Alondo. The worm shall wander the earth, and such a pestilence will follow in his wake that all know of his passing shall be struck down by the plague, so saith the wise Alondo. So those give a brief history of the return of Baldur, the god of murder. He was killed during the time of troubles when the gods were forced to walk Faerun as mortals. And some died. Imoen says, I'm surprised that stuffy old Gorion let you away from your studies and chores. That old fiddle-faddle, I snuck off too. Old Puffguts Winthrop was looking for me, but I've got all day to do his chores. You have time for a story today? No, I can tell you don't. What have you been up to? I'm going to say, I'm afraid I cannot chat today, little one. My foster father wishes me to prepare for a journey. I'm apparently not very good at keeping secrets myself, but will not say to where. Little one, I'm not much younger than you, though you sure got tall fast. Relatively, anyways. A journey, eh? I never get to travel. Wish I could go with ya. Yep, I really wish I could, sir. I really do. I'm going to say, there's no way you can come. Gorion would never allow it. Oh, I know. Old stick in the mud that he is. All worried about nothing, I'm sure. Better go now, because you got a long ways to travel. Not that I would know, especially since I didn't peek at old Mr. G's private letters. No, sir. Better go. Bye-bye. Imoen is an NPC character we can actually pick up in the game. We will not be taking her with us, as she is a good character, and we are going to be taking along evil group members. Tethtoril wants to talk to us. He says, go to Gorion and listen well, for without knowledge, life is merely a shadow of death. Thank you, Tethtoril. It's time to talk to Gorion. After we finish this conversation, it goes straight into a cutscene. So we will be stopping the video after that cutscene, as we are just over 30 minutes now, and I'm going to try to keep these videos as close to 30 minutes as possible. I just wanted to finish Candlekeep before we move off to our next video. So he says, "This is very unnerving, I know, but you must trust me. It's very important that you pack your possessions so that we may leave Candlekeep immediately. Hurry, for there's no time to tarry. The keep is well protected but not invulnerable. I'm going to say, what could possibly harm us here? This place is a fortress and guarded beyond measure." Kind of a dumb thing to say, as we have been attacked twice here already. Candlekeep is indeed a formidable obstacle for ne'er-do-wells, but it is not insurmountable. No matter how thick the mesh, at least one mosquito always finds its way through. No, my child, we must leave as soon as possible for our safety and for that of our friends here. I'm going to ask him, "Please, father, tell me where we will be going." "Alas, I cannot, for I have not truly decided yet. This is obviously a very well-planned journey. All that is certain is that we will be far safer on the move. Perhaps the woods might offer some secluded security, or perhaps the city of Baldur's Gates would offer cover amidst its teeming throngs of people. I do not know where we shall end up, but I have a few friends here and there. I will think on this. We are ready to go." If you ask him what we should bring on the journey, he basically says you should know your character, go buy the things that your skills say you should buy. So I'm just going to say I'm ready to go right now.
Listen carefully. If we ever become separated, it is imperative that you make your way to the Friendly Arm Inn. There you will meet Khalid and Jahira. They have long been my friends, and you can trust them. Let's hurry, child. The night can only get worse, so we must find shelter soon. Don't worry. Explain everything as soon as there is time. Wait, there is something wrong. We are in an ambush. Prepare yourself.
Accepted for an old man. You know I am here. Hand over your ward and no one will be hurt. If you resist, it shall be a waste of your life.
You're a fool if you believe I would trust your benevolence. Step aside and you and your lackeys will be unhurt.
I'm sorry that you feel that way, old man.
Run, child. Get out of here.
Cruel this morning. You awake with the realization that you have not been living some horrible dream. Ambushed, you saw Gorion cut down before your eyes, and even his powerful magic could not stop the onslaught. It was his wish that you flee, but that does not remove the feeling of helplessness that now overwhelms you. Hand over your ward, the armored fiend had said. He was after you and you alone, but why? If only Gorion had given some clue. But now you are alone and lost. Candlekeep is near, but you will find no quarter there. The readers pay for their serenity with rather draconian entry rules, and without Gorion's influence, their doors will remain closed. You will not last long on your own with your meager equipment. Perhaps you can get some help from the friends Gorion mentioned, the ones at the Friendly Arm.
Okay, so we just... I'll talk to Imoen really quickly. Imoen says, "Sorry I followed you, but I never get out of Candlekeep, and those monks are such a bore. Never any decent coin in their pockets neither. I saw Gorion, and I am so sorry. Kind of figured something bad might happen to you out here." I'm gonna say, "How could you have known? Gorion did not even tell me. I accidentally read a letter on his desk the other day. Can't remember exactly what it said, but he might still have... It might be on his body. Anyway, I'm not gonna let you wander around here all alone. Never let a friend down. No, sir. Stick with you until you say otherwise, I will." So she will join our group very temporarily. We are going to steal all of her loot in the next video. I'm just going to wrap this one up right now. We are at 35 minutes, so it's been a little longer than I anticipated. This is my first Let's Play, so if you guys have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. I will try and take as many of them to heart as possible. Otherwise, I hope to see you guys for episode 2, where we'll be taking off from here. Thanks. Bye.